So the guy who runs the probably one of the most prominent Chinese card game accounts, the DTCG_C, and this guy puts up a lot of the Chinese results. So he's kind of like the one gateway that we have into. He's like the one gateway we have into like taking a look at how events are run in China, and yeah, he does a lot of great work. And if you don't follow him on Twitter, I wholeheartedly recommend you do at chaosmon134650. Yeah, I know his tag is not easy to figure out, but you know what? That's his choice. So earlier this week, he posted up this, and it's rare that this happens, right? I feel like the first time you see some wild shit is at a tournament, and then it gets explained afterward, but he was kind enough to explain it before a tournament. And so we can take a look at it. So for folks who don't know, there's been a while back, Ko and Sayo, or Sayo and Ko, this blue tamer here from the EX5 set, had a loop where you could basically steal your opponent's turn at the start of their turn before anything happens, because this it's Sayo and Ko. I had that backwards, my bad. So this Sayo and Ko tamer at the start of your opponent's turn lets you basically pop a Digimon onto the board from under one of your other Digimon. And because of that, you can do some wild shenanigans. Now, the first time it got discovered, the two cards that enabled that combo got like pair restricted, but it seems like another one has been found. So let's take a look at what he's figured out here, and we'll kind of see and wrap our heads around how likely this is to happen, how hard it is to do, and what are the repercussions of like actually getting this combo. So let's take a look. So he's got two setups here. The first one is to play red hybrid, I guess. Yeah, okay, well, I guess we red hybrid up all the way to our level. That's a lot of sources, holy crap. Into a Rise Greymon from BT4. And then we have to play one Sayo and Ko and one Mim Boost. This is assuming that the opponent doesn't have a memory setter. And we start from level 3, and we just evolve a million times on top of level 4s, which is how the red hybrid stuff gets used here. And then we just go into a level 5 Rise Greymon. Assuming we're starting at 1 memory, here's what you do. You pull this guy out, and then you spin the Mim Boost to go to 3. And then you poop out all of the tamers by using the Rise Greymon's Digiburst effect. So he has an effect that says Digiburst 2. If you basically throw away 2 sources underneath him, you can play a red or yellow tamer for free. In this case, we're going to play either the EX9 or the BT17 Matt and Tai tamer. Why these two specifically, we'll find out in just a moment. So there's one. He draws, because the effect lets you draw a card off the Matt and Tai tamer. We Digiburst again to play another one. And he's still got 2 more sources, so he could technically do it a third time. That's exactly what's going to happen. So Digiburst here, and we play a third copy. And now we've got 3 Matt and Tai tamers. And so with 3 memory to set up, we play down a Coronamon. Right here, our little red fella from the Galaxy engine. And then we play for 1 cost. We use the hand effect of an EX6 Spotamon. So this guy is for 1 cost. You can put this underneath a level 3 or a Legend Arms Digimon, and you can draw 1 card. And we pass over 1 to our opponent. So they get 1 memory. Assuming they do not have a memory setter, you can now, on your opponent, start of your opponent's turn, you can use the Sayo and Ko, and their effect lets you play down a Digimon. Now, when that happens, you trigger all 3 Matt and Tai tamers. Because a Digimon, they say their effect is when a Digimon is played, if you have a Digimon with Greymon or Garurumon in their name, gain 1 for each of those. So you see it here on the screen. If you have a Greymon in the name, gain 1 memory. Then if you have a Garurumon in its name, gain 1 memory. And because you have a Rise Greymon, you can gain 3 memory. So you can actually steal the turn back over, and then you can pull the Spotamon back to hand to start for the next turn. And you can keep doing that. You can just keep on doing it. There's another example here, assuming your opponent does have a memory setter, but it requires you to start at 5. So you're going to start at 3 and then use the Mim Boost to go to 5. And you Digiburst again to get all 3 tamers down, and you're going to have to find a way to get more than 3 memory. So you have to play Digimon with Garurumon in its name. And we'll kind of do similar stuff to the last time, where you play down the Coronamon, you tuck the Spotamon for the draw for 1, and then you pass over 4. You pass over 3, but you pay 4 to get the Where Garurumon Ace down. And start of turn, you Start of your opponent's turn, you use the Sayo and Ko again to play down the Spidermon. Spidermon gets played. The Tamers see a Digimon get played, and because you have a Digimon with Garurumon over here and Greymon in name, you get +1 for each of them. So it's +6 memory. So you actually steal back the turn and start with 3. Kind of spooky. Kind of spooky. Whoo, boy. Galaxy Loop is back. How to win. So, yeah, you can basically like, use that extra 3 memory after you've got both the level 5 set up here. And then you can just have your attackers go out like this, or you can just evolve over your Tamers, into hybrids. Makes sense, yeah. Seems easy enough. You can also use Ancient Garurumon like before. I think the old Galaxy Loop decks use Ancient Garurumon as a way to force your opponent to pick up cards. And because the Spidermon here allows you to draw a card, Ancient Garurumon sees that, and then he can force your opponent to pick up a security. So you never have to check the security until you make the last game, or last swing for game. So, okay, that's the actual combo. There's a lot of ways to actually replicate it. So, for example, I am using something completely different. Like, assume I'm just playing like a regular Galaxy Loop deck, and I just got my Galaxy pieces here with the extra Tamers. I guess you can kind of do the same thing. You start at 3 because of the Tamer here. You've got this guy, the Coronamon, gives you +1 off because he sees the Ko and Sayo, and you start with the Coronamon here. You pay the 1 for a Spidermon, like so. That goes down to 3, and then we go and evolve into, let's say, this guy here. Now we've got 3 sources, so it's 1 cost evolve because he gains 1 off that. You also draw. Then we can cycle down here with the effect. Go into Pheramon for the search, and that is we got +2, but then it's a 1 cost evolve. Then for 1 cost, you go into the Flaremon, because he has enough sources to reduce his own cost. Then you cycle with the Tamer here into the Rise Greymon, and now you have 6 sources. So that works. He's got 6 sources. So now we can play out all of our Tamers and pop everything down, yeah. The only issue here is that you would need the extra Spidermon. And then you would go, ooh. Do we have enough memory to do this? Did we gain the memory from the cycle down? I don't know. Remember if we did. Bam. Bam. Correctly go to 4. Start at 3 because of these guys. +1 because he sees them. We go and slide the Spidermon for 1. Go to 3. Then we Evo for 2, gain 1, and then we use the effect here to cycle down, and then we go here. That would be a 1 cost evolve, huh? And then you would rest these guys, not rest, but you gain the memory off of these guys, so it goes to 2. Then you go, oh, maybe we're actually shit out of luck. Oh, did we gain the 2 from the actual effect? JK. That's where it is. Go to 3, and then we cycle down with the Tamer, like so. Get to our Rise. And then we go 3 for the 3 for the Corona. Digiburst the shit out of all these to get our Tamers down. And we'd have to have another Spada to tuck underneath here for 1. And then turn comes, or turn passes over. Rest this guy, pop out. Rest these guys, gain 3. So it's possible without that exact setup. Yeah, I had to gain 2 from the Coronamon in here. Thank you. It's possible with a different setup. It seems like there's actually quite a few like flexible setups there. The one thing that I worry about though is you need a lot for this. You need a whole lot. I feel like even with the original combo, let's just go back to the start really quickly. From his start, like if consider this. You've got to find 1, 2, 3, 4 level 4s. So you've got to pay for at least the 2 cost evolve here. You've got to then pay for a Mim boost, and you've got to pay for the Ko and Sayo here. And then if you're going to start with just 1 memory with no Mim setter, then you've also got to pay for the evolution here and the last level 4 here. Although I guess you could swap this out for something that's like a 0 cost or 1 cost evolve. I don't know. So this doesn't seem like it's going to happen on turn 1. 2 or 3. With that being said, I wonder if you just don't roll over and die as you're trying to set this up. Unless you're like playing a long game somehow, and you can slowly put this together while also managing the board in some way. It seems a little difficult to accomplish, right? Like, even when I go back to my own setup, which I feel like is a little bit easier, I'm still kind of hoping for a lot of things to go right. Like, I need to have enough pieces for the Galaxy engine to work, although you could argue that because the Galaxy engine itself draws so many cards, you're not that shit out of luck. The hard part is getting these two and the Tamers in hand. You need 3 Tamers, you need a Rise Greymon, and you need, I guess in this case, 2 Spotamon. That seems a little rough. And that's assuming we're starting with like 2 Tamers already down. So that's like a level 3, 1, 2, and then you have to have the pieces in hand for all of that. Oh, I guess not minus that guy. You're hoping to get the exact combination of pieces, a Spotamon, a Rise Greymon, and 3 Matt and Tai Tamers, all while setting up 2 Tamers. Feels like a lot. Matt and Tai is unsearchable, yeah. So it's certainly possible, which I think that's the important piece here. It's possible that you can do the combo, and it seems like there are multiple ways to do it. Now the issue is trying to find the most efficient way to do it. Because in the past, with this combo here, the first iteration is like the theory, right? It's the proof. It's the proof that it's possible. Now we just need to like optimize it. So yeah, I mean, this deck could also utilize something like, even without, I think you still need a Tamer. Like you could utilize the Wisteria Memory Boost as a way to like try to grab one of these guys, one of these two. Not the Tamers, unfortunately. So while I think it's certainly a really interesting find and certainly a very powerful combo if you do pull it off, because you essentially just win the game, I think getting there is going to be the hard part. So within the next couple of, I don't know, days, weeks, I'll be on the lookout to see if anyone can actually like optimize this into something that's more manageable and realistic in a match. I think that even the morning of, when people were talking about this was already being looked at. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. He posted the deck list on X. I think a lot of people were posting up lists. Also, for folks who are interested, he actually posts up results for a lot of the Chinese larger events that happen. So also a great resource in that sense too, if you're looking for what people in China are doing. Like, for example, I thought it was really interesting that, here we go. In the last set, BT21, Angels was actually quite popular in China, I felt like. This is the list that he came up with. Can we maximize this? Yeah, so it's 4 Coronamon, 4 Spotamon, 4 of the zero-cost Evolve Agunimon, 4 of the BT21 Agunimon, 4 of the Raid Burning Greymon, 4 of the old Burning Greymon who pops a 4K, 1 copy each of, I don't even know what. Oh, I think like the original Agunimon who evolves for just over Tamers. And then 1 of the Burning Greymon from BT21. Only 3 Rise Greymon and 2 Were Garurumon is kind of rough. And then 1 Ancient Garurumon. I guess the idea is that once you find the 1 copy, or once you find the combo, the Ancient Garurumon will eventually just come to your hand. And then nothing but 6 copies of the Matt and Tai Tamer. You prioritize the ones that draw cards, because of course. And the 2 of the other ones, 3 of the Ko and Sayo, or Sayo and Ko. Sayo and Co. And then 4 Wisterias, 4 Red Min Boosts. Ooh. Yeah, be glad the guy even posted it. Every day we stray further from Yggdrasil. I would be happy to stray as far away from Yggdrasil as humanly possible. Kind of surprising that there's not any space for like Ukomon in here. Huh? You'd imagine that like as a way to like search through the deck really quickly, he's not a bad option, I suppose. But again, I don't think this is like the fully optimized version. I'm sure people will figure out something later on. Yeah, so I guess be on the lookout for that. And if I find anything cool that folks post up, I guess we'll hop in and take a look what they're doing. I am not going to be following up on this, unfortunately. I'm not a big fan of this, and I don't think Bandai will stand if it actually does get optimized. What I'm hoping happens is that Bandai steps in and says, okay, if we have to make an emergency ban right now, what if we also just happen to implement the restrictions for other cards we were planning to hit after the first cycle or the first season of the competitive like World Championship? I would hope that they would do that. I feel like it's coming. Like, we didn't get the restricted list update until the end of the World Finals last year, and I kind of predicted that was going to happen. And barring some emergency event, I feel like that's not going to happen until the end of this competitive like cycle either. So once the Japanese Grand Asia Open Finals or Grand Asia Open Finals in Japan happen, and the other regions get their respective regionals or nationals for this cycle, I think that's after that is when we'll see the ban list update. Unless they hit this, we'll see.